In 1987, Nike released a shoe that was a combination of the Air Force 2 as well as the Air Jordan 2. So it took the swooshless design of the Air Jordan 2, they swapped out the faux leather skin and put faux snake skin on the Air Python, and then they took the sole of the Air Force 2 and stuck it on the Air Python. Now 1987 was before I was born, it was before Devin Booker was born, but apparently Devin Booker, who plays for the Phoenix Suns of the NBA, he is a fan of this relatively obscure shoe that's not like super popular, and Nike is celebrating his fandom with this colorway on his first signature shoe, Nike Book 1 Python. Now this shoe is dropping on September 12th for $150 in the United States. So it is kind of that mid-tier basketball performance sneaker for Nike. You have like the LeBrons and Jordans up here, and then you have the Book 1s, then you got like the Ja Morants that are in the lower tier in terms of pricing anyway. And first impressions of the Book 1 snakeskin or python, whatever you want to call it. In terms of just the colorway and the look of the shoe, I think the Book 1s have grown on me. I did not love them when the images first released, but I think the Book 1 Hikes, that actually turned the corner for me. That also featured like different texture on that shoe, snakeskin included. I don't usually love faux snakeskin, and all over it is a bit too much, so I don't absolutely love the colorway, but I don't think it's like messy or ugly in any way. I think the gum bottoms really help. This white pull tab really help as well. Yeah, I think it's a decent colorway on a shoe that's really growing on me on and off the court. Overall, nice shoe, don't love it, but I do like it. And I do have to apologize, I lost B-roll, so everything that I recorded while on court with the shoe, it's lost. My phone was full, I pressed record, recorded about 30 seconds, and I stopped recording, but I thought it was still recording, and it was lost to the ether. And the upper of the shoe, of course, it is the Book 1 Python for a reason, so it comes in this faux snakeskin leather. Now, one pretty disappointing thing about the upper of this shoe is initially from images, you would think the faux snakeskin is very textured, so you can really feel like the scales. I feel like this is very smooth, so it feels kind of cheap. I know faux snakeskin is not like actual snakeskin. If it was real snakeskin, the shoe would be like $20,000, but I was really expecting like much more textured upper. So if you're into this look, this shoe is definitely for you, but don't expect like the best feeling kind of faux snakeskin, even if it is fake. Don't expect the best. And you'll see the swoosh on the upper of the shoe that actually has embroidery around the outline of the swoosh. So I do like that kind of texture. And then on the booty of the shoe, arguably the most creative part about the Book 1s, it is made to look like a spine. So from this angle, a spine of a book. And of course, you see chapter 1 on the back. This is his first signature shoe. And then here, that is made to look like the pages of a book. And you also see on the booty, that is Devin Booker's birth year, 1996. And then on the tongue of the shoe, Devin Booker branding. On the inside of the tongue, it is actually the initials of his family. So very subtle storytelling on the Book 1s. Usually I don't love pull tabs on shoes. I think it just gets in the way. But this one, I think it is pretty creative. But I don't know, as a huge reader, I read a ton of books. I just really appreciate like playing into his last name, coming with this creative pull tab. Now out of the box, this shoe just comes with white laces, no extra laces. Don't really know any other color that would make too much sense. Maybe black. If they want to go crazy, maybe even like snakeskin color laces. White laces, I think, work well on this shoe. And the Book 1s comes with a Cushlon 2.0 midsole with a Zoomier unit just on the heel. And in terms of overall cushioning, Cushlon does feel very nice. It's not super low to the ground, but still decently so you still get pretty good core feel. The Sabrina 2s uses Cushlon 3.0, the first one for Nike basketball ever. And between the two, I do feel like the Cushlon 3.0 feels slightly more responsive or like bouncy, slightly softer. I don't know if it's just placebo, but that's how I felt on feet. But Cushlon 2.0, so very nice. I would have really preferred another Zoomier unit on the forefoot just to get that more bouncy feel on the toe area. But I think overall cushioning for the Book 1s, it is very decent. If you're a guard, you should have no problems with the cushioning of the shoe. And in terms of the outsole, look how beautiful this gum bottom is. Oh, just one of my favorite, delicious. Icy outsoles, gum outsoles, I'm here for both. And the outsole of this shoe, it is herringbone, just tried and true. It works very, very well. No problems with this traction at all. And you'll also see air zoom on the heel, just in case you forgot what kind of technology is in this shoe. One thing to note about herringbone is that larger rocks may get in between the patterns, in between the grooves. Just keep that in mind, but indoor use, you should have no problems with the traction of this shoe. Now, I had real trouble removing the insoles. It was glued very tightly. But on the right shoe, it actually has a hand-drawn swoosh by Devin Booker Not like specifically this insole, but that design was hand-drawn by Devin Booker. And on the left shoe, it has a barcode. In the box of this shoe, it is a branded Devin Booker Nike box. So book chapter 1 on one side, just the Nike logo on the lid. On the other side, you'll see Devin Booker's signature. Now in terms of sizing, comfort, and lockdown, I'm a wide and flat footer. For book ones, I still go true to size. I will say in the toe area, the book ones feel very snug. It does feel like a short, kind of stubby shoe in the toe area, pretty tight. But for performance shoes, I don't really mind like a super tight and snug fitting shoe. I don't really like too much movement for any of my basketball sneakers, so I don't actually mind that snug toe area. If you prefer like a looser fit, you could maybe go up half a size, but then you might experience like some heel slippage here. And speaking of heel slippage, I will say the ankle collar around the book ones, I love how the padding around here just kind of cups to your ankles, so you experience minimal heel slippage if you get the sizing right. In terms of comfort overall, I think it's a comfortable shoe. The cushioning is decent. Insoles aren't like the best, but Cushlon 2.0 just really works well, and the snugness and the padding all around the shoe makes it a very comfortable shoe on court and off the court. And the support of the shoe is really good too. There's a midfoot plate in the shoe, no carbon fiber, so that's maybe one nitpick, but the TPU sidewall works pretty well. Now it's not like the most aggressive outrigger, but it is enough where you won't like really experience too much ankle roll or anything, protects you from injuries. So in terms of overall support, lockdown, fit, it is very decent. And I have a wide and flat foot, so it's not the easiest to find like a well-fitting and lockdown shoe. Sabrina 2s, I think, were the best in terms of my feet for recent basketball shoes, but the book ones, not too far behind. Now, usually for shoes that I review, I give it a sole score, but those are mainly for kind of casual and retro shoes. This is a performance basketball shoe, at least that's how I view it. I know it works off court, but I see it as a basketball shoe. Those metrics in the sole score doesn't really make sense. So no sole score for the book one Python. A final verdict, I think this is a very decent shoe. In terms of performance on court, I have no problems with it. Would have preferred a slightly better cushioning in the forefoot area with some Zoom Air. Just chuck a unit in there. Come on, it's not like the lightest basketball shoe. If they use like mesh or like a material that's lighter, that would have helped. But I don't actually love shoes that are super, super light where you feel like wearing a sock. I do want to feel a bit of weight on my feet, really good traction, which is something I value a lot. No heel slippage, the lockdown is good, the support is good. If you don't want to pay like $200 for any LeBrons, Jordans to play with, I think the book ones is a very good choice. Compared to like the Sabrina 2s though, I think that cushioning is just, I don't know, something about that shoe. I just love how it feels on my feet. I do prefer these over the KD 17s. I experienced some heel slippage on that shoe, so I didn't love that. So the book one overall, can't really go wrong. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the book one Python. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come the way your shoes